is the Fox 5 News Block.
A smoky start to the day. Brush fires burning as the tri-state faces a severe drought under dangerous dry conditions. Right now, the fires in our area sending smoke to Upper Manhattan and Westchester County. And a wild scene on the streets of Queens. Homes shaking, windows blown out, and a whole lot of nerves rattled after a car explodes. So what's behind the explosion emergency? Good afternoon, I'm Jessica Formoso. Welcome to the News Block. Those stories in just a moment, but first, let's take a look outside. Here's a live look of what's happening. Nick Gregory is here with more on the forecast. Nick?
Yeah, Jessica, crystal clear sky, but as you showed earlier, the dry conditions continue and the wind is a problem, so some of these brush fires have been an issue, and that fire, the Palisades, has been going all day long. I saw it earlier in the day when I was flying up across that area. 60s right now, so it's still a very mild afternoon. Again, the wind is gusty, though. Out of the west, 15 to 20 sustained, even sustained at 25 there at Newark. Look at the gusts. They're pushing almost 40 miles per hour. We're expecting a pretty windy day, and that certainly has been the case. And again, the issue here is that we do have that red flag warning that continues across most of the area. Again, that's for North Jersey all the way and up and towards Connecticut. It's going to go until about 8 o'clock tonight, 6 to 8 o'clock tonight. Again, the potential there is for brush fires to occur, and with the wind, they could spread pretty quickly, so be careful. All right, on the big view, well, we have clear sky here, and again, we have clear skies going all the way back across into the Ohio Valley. There's another little weak cool front that is going to move down towards us, so that's going to bring in cooler temperatures for tomorrow. You'll see that here on the Futurecast. Overnight, we're going to head right down, or this evening anyway, into the mid-50s, but by tomorrow morning, it'll be down to the low 40s in the city and along the coast, and close to freezing in some of the spots to the north and west, North Jersey into the Hudson Valley. And tomorrow, a sunny, a bit of a breezy day, and look at the temperatures. Only in the 50s. I say only, but that's where we should be. We've just been spoiled lately. About 56, 57 for the high tomorrow. Clouds will start to come in a bit as we head on into Sunday, sort of sun giving way to clouds, and there'll be the threat of some rain arriving, which we could use. Not going to be a lot of rain, but we'll take what we can get. Going down to 43 tonight. Again, the wind gusty out of the northwest, and we'll see again a clear sky, low 30s in those chillier suburbs. Jessica?
Thanks, Nick. Now to breaking news. Police have arrested 42-year-old Eduardo Diaz in connection to yesterday's Upper West Side shooting. He faces attempted murder and assault charges. Police say Diaz is a disgruntled employee who shot his former boss after being fired. The victim was taken to the hospital and is in stable condition. A car explosion damaged at least 2 vehicles and 6 homes in South Ozone Park, Queens this morning. Just before 7 a.m., the explosion rocked 133rd Street. You can see the aftermath here, remnants of the burnt out car and blown out windows from the camera's neighbors' homes. Now here is video from the car owner's Ring camera. You can see all is quiet, and then boom, the car starts to fizzle and explode. The owner of the car, who is a plumber, believes the explosion was caused by a leaking pressurized gas cylinder in the trunk of the car. Neighbors were startled.
I was sleeping. All of a sudden, I hear a giant explosion coming from outside. I was scared. I didn't know what it was.
I wasn't here this morning when it happened, but I got the phone call, and then 15 minutes later I was here. And I just came and saw the car was just completely gone.
Now, fortunately, no one was injured. Another wildfire continues to burn in New Jersey. This one broke out overnight in the area of the Palisades Interstate Parkway in Englewood Cliffs. You can see the heavy smoke across the Hudson into New York. Officials say it spread across nearly 20 uninhibited acres, so there is no calls for evacuation. The fire is also about 30% contained. Now to the latest on the balance of power in Congress. Control of the House is still up for grabs. 25 races still yet to be called. Now, Republicans are in the lead at 211 seats. Democrats have 199 seats. Both parties say they see a path to winning the majority. And President-elect Donald Trump has started the process of selecting his cabinet members. He's already made a historic move, selecting Susie Wiles as the White House Chief of Staff, the first woman ever in that role. Rebecca Castor takes a look at some of the names on Trump's shortlist.
President-elect Donald Trump wasting no time setting up his staff for his next White House term, and his first move is a historic one.
Susie likes to stay sort of in the back.
Political strategist Susie Wiles is stepping out from her behind-the-scenes role as President-elect Donald Trump's longtime advisor and successful campaign manager. now tapped to become the first female White House chief of staff when he returns to the Oval Office early next year.
She has no ego. She is an amazing woman. She is a perfect combination of talent and toughness. She does not let any shenanigans go on around her.
Other names rumored to be on the short list for a seat at the table. One-time rival Florida Senator Marco Rubio is in the running for Secretary of State. Formerly in that role, Mike Pompeo is being considered for Secretary of Defense. And his former competitor, North Dakota Governor Doug Burgum, could be named the next Energy Secretary.
Fantastic choice with Susie Wiles. They're going to have the pick of the litter in putting together a fantastic team to help drive our country forward.
Meanwhile, the White House is coming to terms with the results of the election.
We accept the choice the country made.
Still, some Democrats are expressing frustration over Vice President Kamala Harris's failure to win the race.
What can we do as a party to let people know that we hear them and we act on representing them and where they want to be represented and what they want us to fight for?
And back to Trump's cabinet, we'll also likely see roles for billionaire Elon Musk, RFK Jr., and Trump's former challenger Vivek Ramaswamy. In West Palm Beach, Florida, Rebecca Castor, Fox News.
Now, speaking of President-elect Trump, the Justice Department has charged 3 people in connection to the full Iranian plot to assassinate him before the election. 2 of the men are American citizens and have been taken into custody here in New York. The other one is an Afghan national who is currently in Tehran. Also developing at this hour, dozens of people arrested in Amsterdam after a soccer game between the Dutch Ajax Football Club and Maccabi Tel Aviv. Amsterdam officials say young people on scooters crisscrossed the city in search of Israeli fans, punching and kicking them and then running away from police. They say this was fueled by calls to target Jewish people on social media. 5 people were hospitalized and 62 detained. Israel has sent planes into the nation to evacuate their people. Immigrants are concerned here in the city about what their future looks like under President-elect Donald Trump. Now, they gathered in Lower Manhattan last night where they expressed fear over Trump's campaign promise of mass deportations. Pamphlets were given out that outlined the rights of individuals as they approach this immigration. We spoke to one Mexican who spoke to us.
It's really important for me because when I came to this country, I was hoping to find opportunities for myself and my family. With Trump, it's going to be a little harder.
In the coming Trump administration goes through with this proposed mass deportation, about 11 million people in the U.S. could face deportation, including around 4.5 million in New York. Now, New York City has ended the controversial debit card program for migrants. Under the pilot program, the cards were just handed out to 2,600 families for them to buy food. But it came under fire since it was rolled out last February, with critics saying they could be misused and it was unfair for our new New Yorkers in need. Mayor Adams insists the program was successful, but now wants to take it in a different direction. Now, a new strain of the bird flu is spreading quickly across the country, and a growing number of Americans are getting infected. Kevin Cork is in Washington with the latest on the outbreak.
The feds are once again sounding the alarm about a potentially dangerous public health risk. This time, it's bird flu. The CDC reporting an uptick in infections among farm workers after 7% tested positive on farms in Colorado and Michigan, even though many weren't feeling sick.
That's been very mild disease in folks who have become infected. For the most part, it's been conjunctivitis and limited mild upper respiratory disease.
Federal health officials are now calling for more testing to make sure farm workers aren't bringing the virus home to their communities. The good news, there's no risk to America's food supply at this time. And America's milk is as safe as it's ever been, even though most of the infected employees were working with dairy products.
Our poultry products are safe, our milk products are safe, especially if you're pasteurizing the milk. That kills the virus.
This strain of the bird flu was first detected back in March in cows and could possibly now be spreading to humans in bigger numbers. The CDC says that means testing is even more important as it works to prevent human-to-human transmission.
The more opportunities it's presented with, the chance we might have a virus adapt into a new host species, humans being one of those.
This new bird flu strain has been confirmed in at least 445 cattle herds across 15 states. In Washington, I'm Kevin Cork, Fox News.
It's like a scene from Planet of the Apes, monkeys running through the woods after escaping from a research facility. Only this really happened on Wednesday in South Carolina. The research center CEO says 43 female monkeys escaped after the caretaker didn't properly secure the door. Residents are being warned to avoid the area as police try to capture the monkeys. Now let's take a final look outside. Nick Gregory is here with more. Really gorgeous day out.
It's pretty, yeah. Beautiful day, Jessica, and mild again. We're in the upper 60s. That's still 10 degrees above where we should be for this time of the year. The only problem is the wind, which is strong and gusty. Look at Newark, 71 at this hour. It's even upper 60s across the island. And then as we look at the temperature change, about 3 to 4 degrees cooler than we were 24 hours ago. There's the wind, strong out of the west, 10 to 25 miles per hour and sustained. And look at that gusting again, 30 to near 40 miles per hour in places. And again, that red flag warning I showed you earlier is still in place for most of the area until about 6 to 8 o'clock tonight. Be careful with the threat of brush fires. Again, the highs so far right where we're at right now, upper 60s to about 70. There is cooler air off to the north. You got 50s, Burlington to Buffalo. We're going to see those arriving here for tomorrow. Again, you'll see here in our satellite view, the sky is going to stay clear, and our futurecast is going to show that we're going to stay clear pretty much for the rest of the night. And again, as we head on into tomorrow, temperatures will be kind of holding though in the 50s. We do have a shot of rain. That's going to be for later Sunday night. It's not a lot, but we'll take whatever rain we can get. All right, so we go to 56 for tomorrow, 40s in the morning. Late day rain Sunday at 60. Veterans Day looks good, 68. Breezy, cooler Tuesday. Back to the 50s Wednesday. And it looks like another shot at rain. That could be more significant on Thursday and then drying out for Friday. Jessica?
Thanks, Nick. We do need that rain. Now, the 2025 Grammy nominations were announced today. Beyonce leads the way with 11 nods and now becomes the most nominated artist in Grammy history. Post Malone, Billie Eilish, Kendrick Lamar, and Charlie XCX are all tied for second with 7 nods each. Taylor Swift, Sabrina Carpenter, and Chappelle Roan all tied for third with 6 each. Now, nothing says Christmas like the Radio City Rockettes. And today they will have their first performance this year, staging Blend's classic numbers with technology extending the show beyond the stage, including digital projections and forest ferries, drones that fly over the audience. For tickets and more information, visit rockettes.com. That's your news block for now. I'm Jessica Formoso. Thanks for joining us.